everybody, it's Barbara. I hope that you guys are doing well. I hope that you're catching them, and I hope that the winter was kind to you. I have not done a video this winter. I haven't done, the things that I hope to get accomplished during the downtime. I had hoped to get videos and, a bunch of stuff done for my sponsors. I had hoped to, practice actually skipping baits. When Dad and I put the boat away for the winter, I had actually brought some of my poles home, and I ordered practice plugs, and I was going to practice skipping them in the grass and on concrete, because when you're fishing with these women on the LBAA, Lady Bass Anglers Association, which is the Women's Pro Bass Tour, you gotta be able to do that. You've got to be on point. And so I had bought those to practice to do that. And I did have to practice my casting, but it wasn't to practice skipping baits. So for this video, I just kind of want to touch base on where I was this winter, where I'm at now, and kind of where things are going. So, this winter, where have I been? Why did I not do the things I intended? For those of you that have been following me for a while, and I guess those new to the channel, back in 2015, I got really, really sick. I was in the hospital for 10 weeks, had to learn how to walk again, blah, blah, blah. I've been to the Cleveland Clinic. I was at the Mayo Clinic in January of last year, blah, blah, blah. The doctors have been saying that my symptoms, have been the residual symptoms of everything that happened in 2015, and that, essentially the worst is behind me. And, I've been trying to express to every doctor, every hospital I've been to and clinic, that I knew that wasn't the case. Everything just felt, on and off. I just never believed it. Things just didn't feel right and feel that way. So it fell on deaf ears, and I'm not putting down the doctors or hospitals or anything like that. I've seen some pretty sharp people. But nonetheless, in January of this year, wow, January's a bad month. I was in the shower, and just like that, I went numb on the entire right side of my body. And, it was scary. I contacted my doctor, got in for MRIs, and to make a long story short, I have a new lesion on my cervical spine at the C3. And the C3 is basically lined up from what my doctor said, right there, right behind my, mouth. So really high up on the spinal cord. And, and he had said that, lesions on the spine concern him the most, because it can cause the most damage, the most problems. And basically, the brain and the spinal cord, that's your motherboard for how your whole body works. And all of your messages travel up your spinal cord to the brain and back and forth. That's how it works. So the higher on your spinal cord the lesion is, the more room for miscommunication, problems, because all of the messages that are sent from your spinal cord below that, or for me, below that area, have the potential, you know, to to be misread, to screw up, basically. To totally screw up. I mean, if I'm being real, totally screw up. And so I have to get more MRIs in mid-April to go from there. So that's basically the medical update. That's all I'm gonna go over. And I'm not gonna sit here and say, you know, like, oh, everything's great and I'm so positive and yay, you know, I'm perfectly okay with this, and you know, because everybody wants to sit there and tell you, just stay positive and positivity is key, and you know, when you're faced with something that is devastating, sometimes you don't want to hear that. Sometimes you just want to figure things out and be realistic about things and find your way and then deal with it. And that's what I had to do. Because when you find out, I mean, the bottom line is the doctors were wrong. It wasn't a monophasic event. Monophasic means one time, the worst is behind me, onward bound. My second event means it's progressive. And no matter, even if you go like this, you're still going. And it's a matter of time. Yeah, it's progressive. And so when you find out something like that, no matter, I mean, it sucks. I'm not going to pretend to be positive about that. It sucks. Plain and simple, it sucks. But I had my time to sit there and say, this sucks. And to sit there and say, okay, well, it sucks, but now what? I can't just sit there and let life go by. I have to deal with it. I have to come up with a plan. And that's kind of what the winter was about for me, because I did have complications as a result of that. And you already know, based on what I told you on where my lesion was, I'm very, very lucky. I'm very, very lucky and blessed. And every time I have a relapse, I will continue to be thankful for everything that I get back. And this time I got a lot back. And the unfortunate part is that a lot of it, the most that didn't come back was in my right hand. And so my practice plugs weren't used to practice skipping baits. They were used because I had to learn a different way to cast. And I usually use my right hand to hold my pole to use for distance casting, accuracy, and I can't do that anymore. I'm going to be able to do it some, but I can't do it all day. So it's gonna be a challenge for me. And I am super competitive. I am my own worst critic in everything I do, and I've been that way my whole life. I am gonna have to let some of that go for me to still have fun. Because if I critique myself based on previous expectations of myself, I'll drive myself crazy. I can't be that hard on myself. So I've been practicing, and you know what? I'm not gonna fret right now, because now I am getting ready to head to Texas in like 12 hours to go fish the season opener of the Lady Bass Anglers Association Women's Pro Bass Tour LBAA tournament on Lake Ray Hubbard. That's going to be March 25th and 26th. I get to see my friends, I get to hang out with them, and that just means the world to me. So, you know what? I'm just not going to fret over it. I'm going to go and have fun. And if I catch fish, I catch fish. I hope to. My endurance is not good. I get fatigued, and my pain levels are increased and not well managed anymore at this point, because we don't know what's going on. It's a monophasic event, and so we don't know what to do. Whatever. I'll sit down in the floor and fish if I have to, and twitch a trick worm. But I'm going to Texas, and I'm going to have fun. That's what I'm going to do. Because right now I can do that. Because right now I can do that. And so that's what I'm going to do. And I'll tell you what, I've got the best family that gives me just unconditional love and support that I couldn't do this stuff without. I've got great friends, and even my sponsors, like, to support me ongoing, knowing my issues means the world to me. I'm bringing so much stuff with me for the giveaways to my friends who in 2015 they brought me out of the darkness to go fish Kentucky Lake because they knew that I needed that. So I am thankful for everything I got back. I'm thankful for my family, my friends, the LBAA, to be able to get out there. I am saddened, but I am humbled. I am hopeful, and I am full of love. And you know what? I'm ready to go catch some fish. I'm balling right now, but I'm ready to go catch some fish. I really am. I'm going to Texas. That's what I'm going to do. I hope you guys are well. I hope you're catching them. And soon I will be too. I love you guys, and thank you so much for all the support you give me. You have no idea how much it means to me, truly.